Alright YouTube, coming back at you with another knife video, and we're doing another top 10 video. Two of my most popular videos, actually my two most popular videos are the 10 best knives under $100 and 10 best under 50. So, doing something a little different. We're doing another top 10, but this is going to be about fixed blades, and in particular what I like to call EDC fixed blades. Ones that are small, that are everyday carry, that can take place of a folder, something like that. So we're going to have 10 different knives to look at today, and we're going to have some, this is just 3 of those knives. We're going to have some higher end knives, we're going to have some budget knives. We've got a nice little mix of everything. So, and again, this is my top 10, your top 10 could be completely different. I'd like to think that some of these would be in everyone's top 10, but and my one requirement here is that, and I'm going to rate all these based on their sheaths, for one thing. And you can see I've done some modifications to these. This is Azula sheath and this White River sheath, but that my biggest requirement is that it's small enough to pocket carry in a sheath, something like this, or it's something you can wear horizontal on your belt in a sheath like that, and it needs to have a 4-finger grip. So that's kind of my thing. If it's smaller than that, then I consider them more to be like neck knives, and some of these can pass as neck knives, some of them are kind of in between, but I like to call them EDC fixed blades. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and we're going to talk about, let's see, we'll kind of mix it up. We'll start with an expensive one and go to budget and kind of mix it up like that. So let's start with the LT Wright. This is the LT Wright Great Plainsman, that's what it's called. It's a small fixed blade. It does have enough handle. This is a bone handle. They have in all kinds of different variations. This one is, in particular, is a D2 steel and a saber grind. They do have like flat grinds, different steels, lots of options. This is a bone handle. They have micarta, G10. They have all kinds of handles. I like this one quite a bit. LT Wright used to be part of Blind Horse Knives, I believe, or Battle Horse, or one of those two. I'll have to remember. But he is kind of on his own now, and makes a lot of good bushcraft outdoors knives. So I like this one as an EDC blade because it's small. But it has a long enough handle that I can get a 4-finger grip on it, and it's got this nice thumb wrap up here, or swedge we'll call it, to really get some fine detail work. Just a really good sized fixed blade. It has a 2.75 inch blade. It's 0.13 inches thick, and it weighs 2.9 ounces, so it's very small, it's very lightweight. Now the sheath that came with this is actually overkill. I'm trying not to bump my camera here when I get up. For this knife, so I kind of swapped it. It came with this sheath, which is pretty huge for this little knife. I mean, it works well, but it kind of takes the pocket carry out of it. It's got a nice firesteel loop. It's a nice sheath, but I felt it was a little overkill, so I have my Tops Scandi Woodsman, and I just kind of switched it with its sheath, and it fits great in here. It's more of a woods knife anyway, and this is the sheath that came with the Tops, and it is perfect for pocket carry. You can put it on your belt. It's just a great little fixed blade. So this is one of my top 10 right here. Retail is about $115 on Blade HQ last I checked, so really affordable, but still higher end. And it comes, like I said, in a bunch of different steels and handles and such. So that's the LT Wright Great Plainsman. Alright, so we'll kind of just go bottom and top here. So the next one is going to be the cheapest knife on the table, and this is the Benchmark Backpacker. It's actually a pretty popular fixed blade. It's really inexpensive. It costs $15 on Amazon. So it is the least expensive of any of the knives on this video. Barely has a 4-finger grip. Now for me, I have medium-sized hands, and it's barely 4 fingers. So if you have large hands, it'll probably be too small. Like I said, $15. Now the steel listed on the Amazon says 420 stainless, but I've actually been, after looking at it, did some more research on this knife. A lot of people say it's actually 1095, and which in my opinion is awesome, because I love 1095 high carbon steel. So if that's the case, that's awesome. I think it's mislisted on a few sites as being 420 stainless. So, but the overall length on this one is 6 inches with a 3-inch blade. So you got a 3-inch handle, 3-inch blade. So it's pretty small. This one definitely could be considered a neck knife for sure. Got black micarta scales. It's got a nice hollow grind on it, and it's just a really small, very pocketable fixed blade. The sheath it comes with is what do you expect for $15? It has a belt clip, which is kind of cool, so you can carry it vertically. It doesn't do horizontal unless you modify it, and you can easily modify most of these sheaths with these soft loops that I've used. They're used for handgun holsters. You can buy them on Amazon, and they work awesome. It gives you horizontal carry, so you could do something like that with this, just by putting it through one of these eyelets here. You can buy them on Amazon for like $7 or $8 for the straps. So it's a cool little knife for $15, made in China, but it's got good ergonomics. It's pretty well made for the money. I mean, there's some imperfections you're gonna find, like these handle scales aren't perfect, but hey, it's a $15 knife. So I wanted to give some budget options, but just a good small little fixed blade. Works well for EDC. You can do most of your EDC tasks with ease, and it's actually the smallest and least expensive of the group. So this sheath comes typically with a carabiner right here, and I just cut that off so I could pocket carry it or put it on a. But you got a clip here. You can put it on your pants. You can put it in your waistband. You could put it on a pack. So a lot of options for the backpacker. So cool little fixed blade, $15 on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description to my Amazon store. You can pick that up. And the LT Wright is actually I believe the only knife in this video that isn't available on Amazon. So next we're going to go a little high end again, and we're going to go with the Bradford Guardian 3. This is an excellent knife. One of the best EDC fixed blades out there in my opinion, because you get a lot of blade for the size. You have a 3.5-inch blade. Now, I do believe the cutting edge is cut back because of this choil here, but that choil allows you to get a full 4-finger grip on this knife, and yet it's still pretty compact and small. Now this particular version has the blue-black G10 scales. That's what's awesome about the Guardian, is that the Guardian 3 is there's just, I think there's like 10 or more different scale options. This one is N690 steel. They have the M390 ones. They have the 3V Sprint Run right now. So they have all kinds of different steels, all kinds of different scale colors. You have different blade finishes. This is just a stone wash. They have like a Nimbus coating, they call it, which is basically like a black wash. So many options for this knife. It comes with this nice horizontal leather sheath. I actually really like it. It carries nicely on your belt. The only thing I don't like is when you pull it out every time, because it's not finished well inside, you basically just cut it and pull a bunch of leather shavings out with it. But they do make Kydex sheaths now. The one I bought this off Amazon for about $118. This is the least expensive I could find the Bradford Guardian 3, because the M390 ones range about $160. The same with the 3Vs. But it's nice to have those higher end steels as an option. N690 is a good steel. It's pretty comparable to VG10. I like it. Never had any issues with it. But this one I like because it has the horizontal sheath and it has the lanyard hole. That's one thing that's missing from a lot of these knives, is the lanyard hole right here. And that's pretty ingenious, especially if you have larger hands and you want to get a little bit more grip. You can put a nice tight lanyard there, give you some more space. But for me, this is about the perfect size EDC fixed blade. So the Bradford Guardian 3 definitely belongs in the top 10. More details on that one. 3.5-inch blade, 6.3 over 6 3/4, excuse me, overall length, and it has, like I said, a ton of different blade options. So great knife. All right, so we're going top to bottom here. So now we'll go to the Schrade. Now this is another budget offering, so we're kind of going back and forth there. You can have this one for about $20. This is the Schrade SCHF16. It's got a nice sheath. I actually like it quite a bit. It feels pretty close to real Kydex. It's pretty nice. This knife is pretty infamous, I think. It's a pretty popular knife. It has tons and tons of reviews on Amazon, and it's a high carbon CR9 CR18 MOV steel, which is a high carbon steel. It has a 3.1-inch blade with just an overall length of 7 inches. So again, with this nice choil up here, you can choke up. You got a nice thumb wrap here, nice jimping that's not too aggressive. Really comfortable in the hand. This knife has excellent ergonomics. It's just a really well designed knife. It's the heaviest, I think, of the group at 4.6 ounces. I don't think that includes the sheath in that either. And it does have a hollow grind as well. It's got that black coating that could pretty much strip off pretty easily. But this is one of those knives you get in your hand and you're like, there's no way this is only a $20 knife. It just feels great in your hand. It's got great ergonomics. It's a great little EDC fixed blade. With this sheath, it just came, because they consider this a neck knife, which I think it's a little heavy for a neck knife, but it came with some paracord here, but it has the perfect size eyelets here for those soft loops I mentioned. So you could do a soft loop mod. I've seen people do, you can't really do tech locks because they need holes up here. So I think for these, the soft loops work the best, and that's just kind of my preferred anyway. But The sheath is great. Got this little thumb wrap, shoots it right off. Again, excellent ergonomics. Just a really nice little fixed blade for 20 bucks, especially a really good deal. So that's the Schrade SCHF16. We'll go with the White River Knife's Caper. This is actually the most expensive knife on here. I should have started with this one. This one is one of my favorite fixed blades. It's such a good design. Now the Caper is essentially the same as the White River Knife's Backpacker, which is a pretty famous knife. But this one has scales, and that one's skeletonized. Has paracord. I'm not a huge paracord fan for a handle material. So this one's got nice natural micarta scales. These are made right here in the USA by White River, I believe in Michigan. S30V steel on this one. So you get a little nicer steel, a really nice, beautiful stonewash finish. Got your lanyard attachment there. And it's got this huge finger choil right here. And it lets you get all 4 fingers, no problem. Then it's got jimping in just the right spot, so your thumb goes there. They designed this actually as a skinning knife, something to process game with. But I think it works really well for EDC tasks. I used it today to cut up a ton of cardboard. Just super comfortable to use in your hand. Your specs on these is a 3-inch blade with a 7-inch overall length. Drop point with a flat grind, and it weighs only 3 ounces, so it's pretty lightweight as well. Again, like I said, one of my favorite. Now this is the most expensive in the video. It's 150 bucks on Amazon. You can also buy it directly from White River for that amount. Lots of different handle options. You got lots of different micartas, lots of different G10 options. So lots of variety. But I would put this at the top as one of the best EDC fixed blades out there, guys. It's just excellent. The jimping is pretty aggressive. It really gets your thumb pretty good, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just fits in the hand so nicely. Just a pleasure to use. This knife. The sheath is really good too. It's very minimalist. It's compact, Kydex. It had a belt clip on here that they kind of provided, but you have to loop it through your belt. And I just replaced it, took it off, and put a soft loop on there so I can carry this horizontally in the front, kind of on my belt buckle. Conceals perfectly, you can't even tell it's there. That's kind of my preferred way to carry these little fixed blades, but not all of them allow that. But this one's definitely one of my top 2 actually at the moment, so love this one. So that's the White River Knife's Caper. Okay, we'll go back to a budget, and we're going to hit up the CRKT Mossback. Now, at first you're going to say that is the worst sheath ever, and you're right. It is garbage. It is absolute garbage, but the knife itself is excellent. Let me just get a drink of water here. So this is a Tom Crine design. Tom Crine is known for his grinds. Makes quite a few custom knives as well. It's got a great ergonomic G10 handle. Nice black and blue G10. Super comfy. Super comfortable. I mean, it fits in your hand. And as soon as I saw that Tom Crine was behind this knife, I knew I'd like it. These come in around 40 bucks, so they're very affordable. And it has SK5 hard carbon steel, so it's a little different than your typical CRKT usually uses, 8CR13 or something like that on their overseas made knives. And this one was a surprise when it was a high carbon steel. So I was pretty happy about that. So the specs are 3.25 inches blade, weighs in at 4.4 ounces, and a 7.25 overall length. This is a nice hollow grind on it. It's a really ergonomic fixed blade. It's not too big. I think it's actually one of the biggest of the group. Let's compare it. Where's the Guardian at? So it's definitely bigger than the Guardian, but you actually get less blade. So that just speaks to how good the Guardian is designed. But it's a good size little fixed blade. The sheath is absolute garbage, as you saw. It kind of sucks that you get this nice knife and you get this just really crappy sheath, because it really is a great design and has just a super ergonomic and comfortable handle. And what I've done is I've kind of swapped it out. Again, this top sheath fits a lot of these knives, so it'll fit this one pretty good. It's a little snug, but you can carry it like that on your belt or in your pocket, no big deal. And also its brother here, which I'll get out just as a sneak peek, is a CRKT Huntn Fisch. It actually came with a nice leather sheath, and you can stick that in there as well and carry that horizontal. So you got some options out there that fit this knife. Fortunately, the one it comes with is not good, but I hated to take it off the video because it's such a well-designed ergonomic knife. Just really a pleasure to use. Got a nice finger guard, almost like it's got a flipper. It's almost like if you folded this, it'd be a flipper. That's how kind of the finger guard you have in flippers. So you're not getting that here. coming up to the cutoff point here of my memory card. Only ever records to 15 minutes for whatever reason, so I'll be right back. Alright, there it goes. So it started over again. Weird how it does that. It cuts off at 15 minutes. So the CRKT Mossback is a good option, $40, great budget option, and it's, you know, overall good knife. Just comes in this crappy nylon sheath. So if I were to give any negatives to that, it would definitely be the sheath. Excuse me. We covered actually. Oh, here we go. I was gonna say we covered almost the more expensive ones, but we have the Azula here. So this is the ESEE Izula 2. This one really doesn't need a lot of explanation. It's been out forever. It's one of the more popular EDC fixed blades. Great for concealed carry. You know, they sell it like with a survival kit that has, you know, all kinds of stuff included in it, fire making stuff and other survival items. And it's, you know, I don't really use those things. I put them in a kit, but as an EDC fixed blade, it is an excellent choice. This is the 2. Now, the regular Azula has a shorter handle. I like the Azula 2 because I can get the full grip on it. Other than that, they're very similar. I believe they have the exact same blade shape, and I mean, they are the same blade shape. Blade length and steel. It's 1095 high carbon steel. Weighs it in at 3.2 ounces. Has an overall length of 6.75 ounces, inches, and a 2.6 inch blade. So under 3 inches, but it's a timeless design. If you know knives, you know the Azula 2. It's very popular. This one just has the green micarta scales. They have all kinds of different options and colors for these things. So this is definitely in the top 10 of mine, or even top 5, I'd say. You can get these on Amazon. I think I got this one for like 68 bucks. Actually, I got this in a trade, but you can get them on Amazon for 68 bucks. It comes with these nice sheath. You have a belt clip on there, which works well for horizontal carry, but it adds some extra bulk to the sheath. So I just put a soft loop on there and put that in between my belt and snap it on. Bam! It's good. It's low profile. Again, right in the front of my belt, by my belt buckle. It's where I usually wear these. They conceal really nicely. You got a huge lanyard hole here, just massive. But it's nice to see that on because a lot of these don't have it. And again, you have a lot of options. They even make this in a stainless steel version. So you've got tons of choices with the Azula 2. It is a Hall of Famer for sure for an EDC fixed blade. So definitely a great option. Now we're kind of getting into that middle tier. Well, actually, we'll go with the another budget one here. Now this one is a little different than the other ones. It's, you know, you notice kind of a theme with the other knives in the video. They've been very, you know, low-key, not tactical. Except maybe the Schrade was a little tactical, but so this is a totally, I mean, this is designed as like a tactical knife, but I think it's a great EDC blade. This is the Gerber Go Strike, and yes, I said Gerber. This is one of the few that are made in the USA. And it's an excellent knife, and it's skeletonized, the ones I don't usually like, but it has this nice rubber coating on it, you can see there. And that gives you a nice grip, and for some reason, it doesn't feel like a skeletonized knife in the hand. It almost feels like it has scales because of that. It's a well-designed fixed blade. 420 HC steel with a Boss heat treat, so it's going to have good edge retention. That steel's not a bad steel if it's done right, and they usually do it pretty good. Like on the Gerber Strong Arm as well, same steel on that. So really ergonomic. I can easily get 4 fingers on there. You have this nice thumb ramp up here on the blade to do some fine work. So it is kind of put away as like a last ditch, you know, knife, offensive or defensive weapon. But also I think it makes a good EDC blade. So that's kind of what I use it for both. The sheath is one of the best parts about this. Now this sheath's a little modified. I've done some changes. It used to have these clips on it here, and it's very thin. I mean, super thin. And it was designed to be carried horizontally or in a boot with their ankle wrap. You can get this knife with an ankle holster. So I took these off because they worked good, but I just hated having to put it on and off my belt, and you know. So I put one of these holster clips in here that you would commonly see on a Kydex pistol holster. Works really well, and I can, you know, clip that horizontally again in the front. Sheath has great edge retention, great retention. It's not coming out. It's a well designed sheath. What's great about it is it can go in both ways. You can, you know, it doesn't matter. You can put it in that way, or you can put it in that way if you wanted to cross draw it. You know, carry it whatever way. I usually carry it like this, kind of in the front. Easy to get out. So the sheath is a really good design, and this one runs about 40 bucks. I think I actually got it for 35 at Blade Ops. I think it was somewhere around 35. Great design though. 3.3-inch blade, like I said, 420 high carbon steel, 6.9 ounce or 6.9 overall length. And your weight on this one, I wasn't sure, so I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna weigh it. I think it's pretty light. In fact, I know it's pretty light. It feels like nothing. Yeah, it's under 2 ounces. So it's an extremely light option if you're looking for something you don't even know what's there. Even with the sheath, only weighs in at 3.7 ounces. So get a nice fixed blade for, you know, super lightweight. Nice sheath design. I just had to modify it a little bit. You could put a tech lock on here. You could put a soft loop on here. You got the same kind of rivet eyelets. So really great design, and good to see Gerber making some of their knives again in the United States and kind of redeeming themselves a little bit, because for a while there they were kind of hit and miss on their knives. So like I said, $35-40, great value. Okay, the next one up is the CRKT Huntn Fisch. Now this is and again, these are all newer knives except for like the Azula. That's not new, but you know, they're not older knives or anything. This one's a cool design by Larry Fisher, who actually passed away. But it's a cool, like, bird and trout style knife. It's got a nice G10 handle on it, really comfortable. Got some nice finger grooves here, really ergonomic. You're getting a little more handle than blade on this one. Another cool thing about this one is it's got this nice file work on the top, kind of like gives you that custom knife look. I mean, honestly, if it was sterile, didn't have the CRKT logos on there, you might think, hey, that's probably a custom knife. So nice red G10 liners, really good looking knife. Nice functional jipping up here. The one down, and it comes with this cool leather sheath that's kind of like old school. Works well, good for horizontal carry. The only downside on this one is it's 8CR13 MOV steel. And for that steel, and coming in at $54, I believe, on Amazon, you know, it could be priced a little less, I think. But it's a good overall design. I really like the handle's super comfortable. Be a great outdoors knife, but also works well as an EDC fixed blade. Your specs on that one, 7.25-inch overall length with a 3-inch blade and a 4.25-inch handle with a flat ground blade. Pretty good little option. So, yeah, if you're on a budget, want to spend, you know, around $50, that's a good choice. I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes, guys, so moving along. It's hard to do all these knives in this amount of time. So I think I've covered all of them, but the Boker Ridgeback. This is one of my favorite ones of the group, for sure. Love this design. This, again, modified the sheath. This is the Boker sheath, too. There's a lot of aftermarket sheaths for these, but this is the Boker one. I just modified it with some soft loops, and works great for horizontal carry. And it's a awesome design by Bill Coye for his Ridgeback. He actually has updated this recently to the Forerunner, but there has not been a collaboration with Boker yet on that. So you can get a custom Forerunner. And I believe there's one other company that's making a production Forerunner, but they're still about $150. These are about, I think I got this for under $50 on Amazon. It's 440C steel, which Boker does really well. Boker does 440C pretty good. Very comfortable, ergonomic. It's kind of got a wider, thicker handle. It's a stout little fixed blade. I mean, it's built to work. I mean, and it's going to take a lot of abuse. The handles are super comfortable. They're scalloped G10. Like a Ranger green, they call it. It's got some nice jimping up here on the thumb ramp. Nice choil. I can get 4 fingers on here. He kind of puts it as a 3-finger knife, but I can barely get maybe almost like 3 3/4 fingers on this one, so it works well. And I've had the Ridgeback for a long time, so did a video on it almost a year ago. So it's a great little fixed blade. One of my favorites, probably top 2, 3 there. 6.75 overall length, 3.375 blade. It's 0.1 inches thick, and it is flat ground. Weighs in at 5.29 ounces. I believe that's with the sheath. Let's find out. So, but it's probably the most stout of the fixed blades. It's got the thickest handle and the thickest steel, I believe. Yeah, 7.4 ounces with the sheath. So it's kind of a heftier package, honestly. But you don't notice it when you carry it horizontal up there, like I was mentioning. It carries so nicely, and it comes out of that sheath nicely, and it's just a good option. Really comfortable in the reverse grip as well as the forward grip. It's just super comfy. I mean, if you haven't held a Ridgeback, you should, because it's definitely a top 5 EDC fixed blade. One of the best out there, and I'm excited to try out eventually the new version, the Forerunner. So it's been some small changes on that one. So there you have it, guys. 10 fixed blades, 10 of the best EDC fixed blades in my opinion that you can get. Some budget options, some expensive options, but nothing over 150 bucks, so it's still pretty affordable for what you get. That's a nice thing about fixed blades, guys, is you can even get into a custom fixed blade. I have a custom here. It's a little bit bigger, but I still EDC this one by Trident Knives, and it's, I think he charged 120 bucks for it. Came with a nice custom sheath with kind of a, you know, can wear in scout style inside the waist. It's got a lot of nice carbon fiber handles, and it was custom made. I mean, you can get into custom fixed blades for pretty cheap if you want to get into custom knives. A lot less than folders for sure. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video. That's again 10 best fixed blades, EDC fixed blades, in my opinion. Leave your comments down below. Give me some other suggestions that maybe didn't put in the video. I tried to keep it budget friendly as well as have some higher end options for, you know, different viewers. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll leave a link in my Amazon store where you can buy all of these knives, I believe, but the LT Wright, Great Plainsman. Other than that, I think they're all for sale on Amazon. So if you're interested in buying them, click on that link, and that'll help support the channel. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.